first thing you'll see on your first thing you need to know, actually, this is going to be almost identical to your real exam. It's got the timing for each individual section. It's got the timing for the whole exam. It's got a double confirmation whenever you go to the next question to make sure you don't skip any questions by accident. So none of the mock tests on the market have that. But this is just the start of it. You need to be aware that 100% of the questions in your test will be real exam questions. You're going to have precise timing. So you're going to have individual timing for each section. And you're also going to have a general timing for the whole exam. Just like on the real test, you get used to the timing. You're prepared for it. You know how long to take for each individual question. The special thing about this software that you will not find anywhere else, not even on the real Pearson PTE mock test, is the instant answer analysis. So the software doesn't just mark you right or wrong, green or red, tick or no tick, 1 mark or 0. It actually gives you the analysis of the areas you're lacking. It analyzes your score based on your accent, based on your rate of speech, based on the gaps that you're taking. So all of these are taken into consideration. And one of the other features, you'll get custom feedback depending on those mistakes. So my mistake is going to be different from your mistake. My accent will be different from your accent. Your accent will be different from somebody else's. So all of that is taken into consideration by the AI, by the computer software. And it's just like a real exam. It's like an authentic test simulation. You can get ready, you can get in the mental mode. So whenever you get to the real exam, it's like a piece of cake. You know, it's like you putting on your shoes in the morning. The number one thing we're going for affordable pricing. Because look, there's all kinds of software, all kinds of mock tests. The Pearson mock tests with the conversion and everything, it comes down to nearly $50 per test. And it just gives you the answer. It doesn't even give you doesn't show you what's right, what's wrong. You can't listen to your answers. You cannot double check your response if it was right or not. You have no idea where you made the mistake. You don't know what kind of mistake you made. Did I mess up in my spell? Was my spelling really that bad? Can I see where I made the spelling? No, I can't. What happened to my speaking? My fluency is 90, my pronunciation is 78, and I only got 76 in speaking. Here, we try to make it really reasonable because we do have a lot of our own students. We don't want to, this is for their enhancement. This is to make your life easier. The most important thing is, doesn't matter what issues you guys run into, technical issues, if the quality of the test is not satisfied, we are there 100% to back you up, to look after you, and to give you instant support. If you're watching this video, we're gonna make your life in passing your PTE exam a piece of cake. So guys, our video course has finally relaunched. We've updated all the materials, all the videos. What does it include? It's basically all the lectures, all the strategies, all the tricks we teach in the class, but at a fraction of a cost and from the comfort of your own home. It's a self-study video course package, meaning you can watch it anytime, rewatch anything you didn't understand. And it's not like we give it to you and we leave you all to yourself. Whenever you have questions, you can send us a message directly. You'll be part of our private Facebook group where every single day, one of our teachers is there to answer your questions. And rather than you paying $1,200, which is what we charge in Australia, you only have to pay a fraction of this, which is affordable no matter where you are around the world. And hopefully it's going to help you pass your PTE exam. Hopefully to see you soon in Australia or UK or anywhere else where PTE is accepted. Talk to you guys soon. The first thing you'll see on first thing you need to know, actually, this is going live. You're supposed to go the other way. 3, 2, 1. Hello YouTube. Hello Instagram. How is everybody doing? We're trying new things. We're experimenting with new stuff. So that's why you saw this intro. Our man Justin over here, which you'll see afterwards, playing around with different things. So anyways, I got you guys over here on my screen as well. So I got your questions coming in and out. There are a few things I want to cover first. So the topic for today is how to prepare if you're from different countries. And first of all, we're going to go through some things, through some general trends that I tend to see that people make mistakes in, whether you're from Colombia, you struggle with pronunciation, whether you're from Brazil and you hate to memorize things, whether you're from Punjab or Gujarati or Nepali or Pakistani. So what I noticed, because we had lots of students over the years, and everybody tends to struggle with different questions, different areas. So today is going to be a fairly short session, only 15 to 20 minutes, but I want to give you guys, depending what country you're from, a bit of a study plan and the areas of focus that you need to emphasize. So if you guys can do me a favor right now, if you can comment in the video which country you're from, so at least we have an idea. Can I see which country? Okay, we have quite a few people on Instagram already. So guys, please let me know which country you're from. At least I can start explaining, things that you need to work on. Hello, Pup. How are you? Jimmy Sharma is in the house. We got Saeed. We got Soleil. We got Jaswas, Sharfu from India. We got Bhutan. Oh, that's a very uncommon one. Bhutan. You'd like to improve your score. Egypt. Islam. How are you, Islam? Okay, so let's get started. First of all, there's a few advantages, a few disadvantages that I notice most people have. So the large majority of students we get are from Nepal, from India, from Pakistan, from Colombia, from Brazil, and from China. So what you'll notice, the way people study is a little bit different. For example, those of you guys that are from Asian countries like China, India, Pakistan, Nepal, you're really, really, really good at cramming. And I think it's part of the education system. They ask you to memorize things, and you will do it very well. You'll memorize hundreds of questions. You'll give the exam, and then immediately you forget, everything about it. If we have any South Americans, and if you guys can comment in the comment section, we'll get some Filipinos. So South Americans tend to be very logical. They hate memorizing things, but they're usually very good at deducting the answer by themselves. So maybe sometimes, let's say for reading fill in the blanks, they get a new question they've never seen before. Even though they're not quite familiar with the meaning of the word, they can kind of figure it out based on their kind of common sense and what they know from Spanish or from Portuguese. So let's start with India. India, since a lot of you guys said you're from India, I saw we had some Patels, we had some Sharmas, that means you're Gujarati. So first of all, India is obviously very big, and the way you guys study, maybe the education system is different. So people that are usually from Delhi or from Mumbai, they tend to be much better in the reading section. They tend to be better in the listening section. So why is this helpful? If you're better in reading section and you're better in the listening section, it's a huge advantage because this is one of those skills that takes a long time to develop. For example, in Delhi and in Mumbai, people speak English more commonly on a daily basis. Meaning if I'm used to hearing English news, English television, I'm reading English articles and books and publications. Whenever I'm practicing the PT exam, if I hear a new dictation I've never heard before, if I get a really long repeat sentence, maybe even though I cannot memorize the whole sentence, I can understand the words easier. I can at least get most of the words. If I'm doing the reading fill in the blank section, again, maybe I'm not quite familiar with the words, but whenever I'm reading the words, I know it doesn't quite sound right. For example, if I told you guys, I'm going to run towards to the train station. I'm going to run towards to the train station. Does that sound right to you? So what most people go, oh yeah, run, station, it makes sense. But this is actually wrong. I can say I'm running towards the station or I'm running to the station, but I would never run towards to the station. So the problem is people that have heard English a lot throughout their life, for example, Filipinos, for example, people from the major cities like Delhi and Mumbai in India, it's a little bit easier. For the other people, it's a little bit harder. In India specifically, we've got kind of the middle, north, and south. So the north and the south is a little bit similar. If you're from the northern part like Punjab, or if you're from the south like Gujarati or Telugu, Tamil, the way you're going to study is a little bit different. Usually in those parts, you guys start to learn English later throughout your education system. And because of that, you're struggling with your reading vocabulary specifically, and you're struggling with your listening skill. So if you're Gujarati or Punjabi, what I would suggest, do lots and lots and lots of practice for the reading section, specifically for fill in the blanks. So that's the biggest kind of area of weakness, and usually the listening spelling. So in listening, spelling is not that important. It doesn't affect your score as much, let's say, in summarized spoken text as it does in your fill in the blanks and dictations. And fill in the blanks is one of those things that maybe it's easier for you to fix, maybe it's harder, but dictation is something you can practice a lot. So if you're from Punjab or if you're Gujarati, do lots of reading, fill in the blanks, lots of dictations. On to the southern part. So those of you guys that speak either Telugu or Tamil. So Telugu or Tamil, most of the, I'm not going to generalize, I'm not going to say everybody, but most people that come from the south, Telugu or Tamil, there's a lot of people in IT. So usually IT guys, very educated, very smart, very logical. But the problem with IT guys, you're so used to speaking to a computer or looking into a computer. I think whenever it comes to the actual speaking section on the exam, sometimes something happens and you forget what you're saying. So the information you have in your brain and the information that comes out of your mouth are like two completely different things. So a lot of guys that I have, a lot of students I get from the south, and even before I started this live session, I was with two of my students. Maybe you guys are watching, Rajesh and Rawinder. So what tends to happen, you might know the information, you might know the formats, you practice a lot, but sometimes it's hard to control your anxiety, or sometimes it's hard to control the pressure, and it's a little bit hard to relax, and you tend to make some mistakes in the speaking section. So if you're in IT, I want to put this image in your head, and it might sound really bad, but I want you to pretend like you're having almost like a verbal diarrhea. And I know it's not a very good expression, but I want you to keep talking continuously without any stop, and you have to have confidence that whatever you studied, you know it, you just need to implement it in the right way. We've got a lot of people from Nepal, from what I can see. We've got Jimmy from Nepal, we've got Apsara from Nepal. So those of you guys from Nepal, we get a lot of our students from Nepal. I would say 30 to 40% of the students. My favorite thing about the students I get from Nepal is the work ethic. So those of you guys, and I'm getting goosebumps, I don't know if you can see it. All the students I have from Nepal, a large majority, 95%, have really, really strong work ethic. And no wonder you guys, when you come to Australia, you always work too much. You got 2-3 jobs and you got a crazy schedule. So it's a good thing for PTE. Because let's say your English level is a little bit weaker. Let's say you're from Nepal, you didn't go to a private school, you went to a government school, right? Maybe your level of English is a little bit lower. You can make it up in lots of other areas. So if you're putting in the work ethic towards practicing your dictations, which when you guys watched the session 2 weeks ago, I mentioned there are 4 sections which are the most important. So can you guys remember what are the 4 questions, 4 sections that give you the most marks? If you can comment in here, the 4 sections that give you the most marks in PTE. So I already gave one away. We got write from dictation, which is number 1. We got repeat sentences, which is number 2. We've got read aloud, which is number 3. And we got reading and writing fill in the blanks, which is number 4. So if you got good work ethic, regardless of what country you're from, dictation is something you can practice. There's a limited question bank, about 600 some unique sentences. You can keep repeating them every single day. Reading and writing fill in the blanks, number 2. Again, there's close to 500 questions that come in the exam for the reading and writing fill in the blanks. If you're one of our students in the class, or if you're one of our students in our private group for the online students, in the D team group, you guys have the new material. So there's about 500 reading and writing fill in the blanks. Read aloud is something that we can improve. That's something we can fix if we're, like today I was sitting with one girl from Nepal, and before she said, you know, I'm only getting 60-70% accuracy in my read aloud. And the first read aloud we did together, she got 98 or 96% accuracy. So that's a big jump. That's something you can fix in a very short period of time. And the last one is repeat sentences. Unfortunately, repeat sentences is something that's a little bit harder to manage. because if you got really good short-term memory and you're able to recall things really quickly, it's easier. If not, not. Very good. I see Jimmy's following the videos. He knows the most important questions. Atik, how are you guys? And again, I do apologize, guys. I can't go in too much detail tonight. I do have some plans. Sometimes I try to have a live. So I do have to leave a little bit early. But I want to cover as many countries as we can. And it's kind of weird. Look at this. I got everything. Justin, what happened? Justin. I don't know if you can see our friend Justin. No. Anyways, I will show Justin another time. Okay. Any other countries? We got Pakistan. Let's cover Pakistan really quickly. So today in the evening class, I had 2 students from Pakistan. Really, really, really nice guys. Really nice guys, very genuine, very down to earth, very respectful, you know, really nice guys, very polite. And one of the guys was sending me lots of recordings. So this week we're doing the speaking section. And the first guy, the friend, he was sending me lots of recordings. I'm giving him the feedback about speaking too fast, speaking too slow, and so on. The other guy sent me recordings the first day and never sent me anything again. So Pakistani guys, usually very smart, very educated, work hard, but sometimes we have to push you guys. So, you know, like in terms of I think whenever you study back home, you're used to just cramming the day before the exam, or you're used to finding some other kind of a way to get your mark, to get your score. Unfortunately, in PT, cramming the night before the exam doesn't work. So there's a lot of things you need to prepare. Those of you guys that watched the live session last week, you saw the amount of hours it takes to prepare. So you should be spending at least 10 hours only for dictation. You should be spending about 40 hours on all your reading sections and questions. So there's no way you can cram all of this the night before the exam, regardless how good your memory is. But on the other side, guys from Pakistan, really good memory. To cram an essay template, it's like this. To cram describe image, retell lecture format, really, really easy, but you need to push yourself. To pass PT doesn't take a lifetime, doesn't take a year. If you really put in the effort, it takes anywhere from 5 to, let's say, 7 to 8 weeks. So you need to sacrifice something in that time, and that's for everybody. You need to sacrifice something for 7 to 8 weeks, and then you'll be able to forget about it, never watch another PT YouTube video, never listen to another friend, never see another score report again in your life. Okay, let's have a look here. We've got Tarnjit Singh. How are you, Tarnjit? We have Apsara. Reading and writing, fill in the blanks. Yes, very good. Repeat sentences. Sanya Jugal, good luck for your exam. Islam, how to register for the exam. So Islam, I believe you're already one of our students in the D team group. So just have a look at the previous live sessions. Somebody asked that question. I actually explained how to register for the PT exam, what questions to fill out. We do have a few South Americans watching. So South Americans, of course, many different countries. The most common one is Brazil and Colombia. So those are the 2 most common ones. I'm going to address those in a second. Those of you guys that come from Chile, Peru, Venezuela, the best thing is, and Mexico as well. So Chile, Peru, Venezuela, Mexico. Your accent tends to be fairly neutral. So those of you guys from Venezuela, Mexico, Chile, Peru, you tend to speak in a more flat way, more neutral way, which is very good from PTE, because people that have really, really strong accents, it tends to affect their score quite a bit. Those of you guys from Colombia. Now, we've had lots of students from Colombia. If you watch any of the testimonies we have in the past, what you will notice, almost every student, I think without exception from Colombia that I've had, that got 79 plus, they have a really strong accent. So if you're, let's say, from another country and you're trying to listen to them speak full speed, it's going to be hard for you to pick up what they're saying sometimes. Sometimes we'll even have students that, in the class, for example, students from other countries that will try to listen to the answer that the Colombian person said, and they will struggle. Now, there's nothing wrong with you guys. There's nothing wrong with your accent. It's acceptable in PT. Now, the problem is it's how you deliver to the computer. So for Colombians specifically, they tend to struggle a lot in read aloud, and this is why they struggle in their speaking section and their reading section. So whenever you guys are doing read aloud, and if you're struggling with pronunciation specifically, I want you to pretend like you're watching the news. So whenever you're watching the news, you know the newscasters on TV, how do they speak? They don't talk really fast like this without any pauses and breaks, right? They emphasize their words. They open their mouth. They speak more clearly. You know, they really, really use their face muscles. So if you're if you're from Colombia, or in general, if you struggle with pronunciation, and this is mostly for guys because girls usually have a different problem. They have a very sharp voice. But for guys specifically, try to open your mouth more. Emphasize when you speak, specifically for your read aloud. And the last one, before I answer some questions and tune out for the night, is Brazil. Brazil, I usually have two groups of students. So the first group of student is very hardworking, very dedicated, very committed, and they tend to be serious. They tend to practice a lot. The second group of people is kind of the younger Brazilian crowd that they want to study a little bit, work, have some money, but also enjoy life. And they don't tend to take PT too seriously until it's almost too late, until the time is running out. So those of you guys that are kind of on the younger side and you're from Brazil, and maybe one of our teachers, Vinny, is watching this, so he knows I tease him all the time. You need to really put in the time and practice. Those of you guys that are committed and are serious, you need to really work on your listening. Because especially for repeat sentences and for dictations, I find you guys tend to get most of the words, but you miss the S's, EDs, INGs, and so on. And Egypt, Islam, I've had some students from Egypt. Not as many, but I've had some people that speak Arabic. Usually with the accent, it tends to be very good. You don't have problems in pronunciation. What tends to happen usually, and maybe I'm a little bit biased because I had a few students that were very stubborn, but a few students I had from Egypt, they're kind of very strong-headed, and I really had to push them really hard. They're a little bit stubborn and, let's say, overconfident. So Islam, for example, I believe you're in our private group for the online coaching. So what I would suggest, sometimes we explain things in our video course that seem to be very obvious, that seem to be too simple. You know, like, for example, in listening, fill in the blanks, I will say, follow on the screen with your finger, don't lose your spot, write the words out really quickly, and at the end, take the time to actually type it out. I had a few students from Egypt that are overly confident, and they tried to type in the box directly, and they got caught, you know, and they missed the word, and then they missed the last four words because they lost their spot. So don't be overly confident. Really take it back to the basics. Follow everything step by step. You know, you usually have really strong vocabulary and usually have pretty good listening skill. So you really need to follow the instructions. Don't think that you're kind of better than that. But that's pretty much it. I've only had maybe a couple dozen students from Egypt, so a smaller maybe sample size. Okay, let's answer a few questions. I've got 2 minutes and then I have to run for dinner. Yes, I do eat sometimes. Okay, how to get 79 in writing. So Abina Shah is asking how to get 79 in writing. So Abina, we posted a video maybe 2 months back, how to get 79 plus in writing even if your grammar is not good. Maybe Justin over here can put it on the screen. So basically, don't focus so much on improving your English. Those of you guys that take IELTS and OET, you try to improve your English skill, but actually your English skill is not that important. Your grammar is not that important. Make sure your write from dictations are spotless. Make sure you do pretty well in your listening, fill in the blanks without too many mistakes. Make sure you're using the correct strategy for summarize spoken text, summarize written text, and you will pass. Memorize an essay format. So again, from scratch, how to pass writing. Memorize an essay format. That's a mandatory. Know the correct strategy for summarized written text. You cannot just take 2 random sentences and connect it with the word end, which some of you guys are doing. Make sure you know the correct strategy for summarized spoken text, and then dictation and listening blanks. Make sure you practice those a lot, especially the dictations. If you get 3 dictations 100% correct and everything else is not good, there's a really good chance you will still get 79 plus in writing. Kelsang, where can I get the dictations to practice? Look, there's some websites where you can get it. There are some websites, maybe it's not the precise material, but it's going to cover 50 to 60% of it. To our students, we usually give it in the class or we send it to them through Google Drive. Those students that are taking the class with us. Soleil, mock test feedback is very helpful and accurate. You will have an idea where to focus on. Yes, it is, exactly. Soleil, can you please let me know if you've given the exam before or not? I'm really, really curious. If you can message us afterwards on Facebook and let us know how you went with the mock test, because I want to see your final result compared to the mock test. And hopefully you pass. Hopefully it's excellent. But please send us a message. We got AJ. How to avoid hesitation, describe image. The marks affected if repeat same sentence. So look, AJ, you can repeat things. You can repeat a format, but you need to make sure the format is relevant to the image. Some people, what they used to do, they used to say, I've got a very nice image in front of me. I have 25 seconds to prepare for this image. Please speak into the microphone for 40 seconds. I've got a very nice image in front of me. Please prepare for 25 seconds and speak about the image for 25 seconds. So people used to read the instructions, and PT got smarter. They started catching people that are using information that's not related to the image. And in terms of the hesitation, make sure you memorize the format. Because, for example, I'll give you guys a quick demo. Okay. So I'm not going to do the whole format. I'm just going to do part of it. Let's say this is the picture. And this is not a commercial, by the way. I'm not sponsored by these guys. Let's say this is a picture you get in the exam. And they ask you, describe this image. If I have to come up with it on the spot, I have a picture of a bottle in front of me, and it has different colors, and a blue color, which is the background, and So what happens, you're going to lose your fluency. Now, if you have a format, you can be on autopilot. You just pick the content from the picture, right? The graph in front of me is an image, and the image represents a water bottle. The first factor I can see on the screen is the white color, which was the background. The second factor I can see on the screen is the top part, which is the white color, and blah, 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 blah. So regardless of the image you get, you can keep talking continuously. For example, the image in front of me is a phone, and it is clearly showing blah, 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 blah. The first factor I can see on the screen is the blue color, which is showing the back of the phone. The next factor I can see on the screen is the orange, which is showing the sticker. The last factor, so I'm just making it up as I go along. My point being that when you know a format and you practice it a lot, you can do it with your eyes closed, regardless of the image you get. Which mock tests to be done for practicing? I believe we're talking about the mock test that we have on our website. So that's the one that Soleil was referring to. With the video package online, can you score 79 plus? Mohammed, that depends on you. The video package is only 50% of the effort. The rest has to come from you. So I'm not here to promise you anything, but there's lots of people that get 79 plus every week. Rio the paragraphs. Soleil, just send us a message maybe on Instagram. I know you Filipinos use Instagram. What to improve and what to focus on during the mock test? Yes, you do get suggestions, what to improve and what to focus on. I need the score of 79 plus with your guidelines. Oh, you got it. Awesome. Soleil, thank you so much for your feedback. Very happy that you got your score. If you can also maybe let everybody know in the comment section which things helped you prepare. So guys, anybody who's watching the video right now, you can ask Soleil for advice. She got 79 plus. Next, how to write the writing summary. We will have to save it for one of the next sessions. Will the mock test help me excel my score? So look, it helps you test your level. It's going to tell you the range of score you're in. It's going to show you your mistakes and give you the feedback on how to fix it and what are the areas you're lacking in. Guys, I do have to finish soon. I'm struggling in reading and writing. I'm getting 85 plus in speaking and listening. So Bishwas, that's very good. Congratulations. If you're, wait, I think you're one of our students, isn't it? If you're struggling in reading and writing, two possibilities. Number one, you're using the completely wrong strategy for summarized written text. Number two, you're messing up your reading and writing fill in the blanks. The drop down fill in the blanks with 4 options. My test is on the day after tomorrow. Congrats, good luck, smash it. Describe images are easy. Yes, they are. How to improve for writing and reading, missing by 5 to 8 marks. So I mentioned already. Does capitalization really affect reading fill in the blanks? What do you mean by that? So 𝗠cie for reading fill in the blanks, if the words are capitalized, yes, it matters, but it's not that common. I got 19 speaking, but 67 in listening. Work on your repeat sentences and write from dictation. I'm getting trouble in writing and my target is 79 plus. So Rita, I'm not sure what your other sections are, but you might be making a lot of punctuation and spelling mistakes. And Bishwas, I know you're a student, don't worry, you will find out this weekend when you're attending the class how to fix it. You will see. You will get it, you're a smart guy. Okay guys, that's it for tonight. We're going to log off. Please let me know in the comment section what are the things you want to see next week. What are the things you're going to hear next week. I might be doing the session. Maybe one of our other teachers will do the sessions. We're not sure yet, but we'll try to bring this to you every Thursday. Any other questions, ask below. Any recommendations, ask below. But this is actually a lot of fun for me. It's a lot of fun for Justin because he gets to learn new things. And wait, before you guys leave, I will show you Justin. So if you see him in the street, you could give him a high five. And we're also going to take a video together for the other people as well. So bear with me. Okay. Alex here from Dream English. We are here with a couple thousand other students online. We've got Justin, our video editor. We got myself over there. Ugly, don't look at this. And we got lots of students on YouTube answering questions. Everybody say hello. So see you guys next week on Thursday. This was a lot of fun. Have a good night. And Justin, cut the video before I say something awkward.